Hello, my name is Ilona, and first I want to take a look at the flooding in Australia. There is flooding, by the way, across the world. I believe there's a Malaysia flooding as well, but I just want to take a look at specifically in Australia. I just have a feeling that the dark forces are behind this because it's so dramatic and drastic, and a lot of people have trouble getting away. Unfortunately, some people have lost their lives, so my heart goes out to all the people that lost loved ones, that are in this situation, that had to leave their houses. So I just want to take a look at the flooding there. What's the energy behind there? What's going on? The flooding in the Sydney area in Australia. We have the Page of Cups, that's the card above. We have the Magician, the central card. We have the Ten of Swords in the past. We have the Knight of Cups. And we have the Four of Wands. So that's interesting. I'm just going to get an extra card. The Star. And I'm just going to take an extra card just in case. Who is really behind this? Yes. Because to be very honest, if I look at these cards, these are quite positive cards, but it's very likely that this will bring people together, especially with the Knight of Cups and the Page of Cups. People are really helping out. This is actually uniting people, connecting people. So this could be used as a good thing for people to really help out and to, like I said, connecting more on another level, especially when dramatical things happen. People have a tendency or to fall apart or to get together, and I think this unites people. And this also is like could be a catalyst to changing things politically as well. Like, well, what are they going to do about it? What is the focus? Why aren't they helping out? Because if I'm not mistaken, it takes a lot of time there, apparently political, to get help there. So this also brings up a lot of questions like, why aren't you helping your own people, especially political? So I did think this is also the start of Australians getting back their power, because that's what the Magician is about. But the interesting card, the card who is behind this is a card of leaving. So I do believe the dark hats, the black hats, are behind this, the dark energies. I think they still have some control, especially in Australia, because there's a lot underneath Australia. And well, they had, of course, these plans to kind of destroy everything, how do you say, above ground. And if that was the case, they would hide in Australia. So they have to leave. They can't stay there anymore. And I believe this is one of their scorched earth. Like, well, if we are leaving, if we have to let go of our power, we're going to take down as much as we can. I don't think they have a lot of control anymore. Of course, what's happening is horrible. But it was up to the dark influencers or the dark energies. They would have probably flooded entire Australia and way more around the world. They would have really created havoc. So you can just see that it's dwindling. It's like this card. They're moving away. They don't have that power anymore. So in a way, you could see this as a good sign, although what's happening right now is devastating. So I don't want to mention it as that, because that's a bit strange. But you can see that they don't have that power anymore. They can still do damage, and on a smaller scale, but not that enormous scale they once had. They could have pretty much destroyed the entire earth, and they had intentions of doing a lot of destructions. And you can see that the white hats have pretty much taking over most of what they had already. So it's not possible for them anymore to do that. So they can do these things. So of course we have to see and watch that they still have some control. They can still do some damage. But this is used, I think this is used for a good thing, especially this is the coming together of people. This is protection. This is better times ahead. So I think this is going to be used by the people in Australia to really connect, to help each other out, also look differently at their political system. I think this will create a lot of damage for the people that are still there. There's a lot going on politically in Australia, a lot of restrictions still. I'm not sure what if they've already dropped some of their restrictions. I believe in certain area they did. I believe in New South Wales, which, if I'm not mistaken, is this area as well. They drop the masks and things like that. But it's important. It's like pushing everything to the edge, so to speak. They're really, it's opening up people's minds, seeing like, hey, they're really not doing anything for us, this government. We need to stand up for ourselves. And I think this is really a good thing in the end of getting people together. So that's very important. I'd like to take a look at America. A lot of things are happening obviously there. I saw an article, Justice Thomas wants to reevaluate Section 230 about the immunity of big tech, and this is about Facebook and the trafficking. Apparently that needs to be reevaluated so they can take more responsibility, so they won't be immune anymore. So that's interesting. Project Veritas just released, I believe, another interview, and this one also on the cover, if I'm not mistaken, with Matthew Rosenberg, who is a New York Times reporter, and he actually is just talking about the over-the-top reporting from the media about January 6th. So that's interesting. And that there were FBI informants among the people. So things are coming out. Mr. T released a statement about, of course, Justice Gableman, the report about the decertification of Wisconsin, and more proof about biolabs that the USA has built in Ukraine is coming out. So lots of things happening, and I just want to see and take a look at the energy of USA right now. We have the Ace of Swords. We have the Knight of Pentacles, the central card. We have the Nine of Cups in the past. We have the King of Pentacles underneath the Knight of Pentacles. And we have the Ace of Cups. So this is very, very interesting. I'm just getting another card, that's the Ten of Wands. That goes with the future card of the Ace of Cups. We have two aces, two new beginnings. The Ace of Swords is more and more truth is coming out. Like I actually just mentioned, more and more is coming out. This is about communication. This is about truth. This is about seeing very clear what is going on. So there's a new beginning. And it's happening, and a lot. This is interesting. These are two pentacle cards, and this is about really rolling out the plan. So these are very practical people, so to speak, or practical energies. So things are really changing, and I think we're going to see more and more coming out. Changes are happening as we speak. Like I've mentioned, these articles, people are seeing more and more truths, what's going on, what's really been happening all this time. And for the future, there will be a completely new beginning emotionally, because this is about the cups elements, the element of water, about connection, about connecting with probably yourself, but with, you know, with everyone around you. There is a completely new beginning. So this could be a very important week or a time ahead for America as well. And I believe for the world as well. It can still be tough, which means some people have a tough time. What's going on? More and more truths are coming out, and some will be very difficult for people to swallow. Of course, also in America. So there's this new energy, new bubbly energy, new beginnings, but it can be tough for a lot of people that are still stuck in their ways or stuck of looking at things a certain way. But things are moving ahead, that they are really following a plan, especially with the Knight of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles. This is like a plan that's been laid out, and they're following it. And that really feels like the White Hat plan. That's now coming out more and more and more. It's getting tangible. You can actually see things changing. So I do see a lot of interesting, energies for USA. Now I'd like to take a look globally. What's the energy globally around the world? I'd like to finish with that. Let's see. we have the Ace of Cups. Well, that's interesting. We have the World. Ah, that is actually beautiful. We have the Ace of Swords. Well, that's interesting. I'm getting this exact same card. The King of Wands. And we have the Knight of Pentacles. And I just shuffle and I just pick them. And we have the Sun as well. So these are beautiful cards. There's no doubt about it. We are really in this new energy. I can just feel it. Like I've mentioned before, in the Netherlands, we have clear blue skies for days now. It's beautiful out. The sun is actually very warm for this time of year. And I can just feel this new energy. And that's what's going on. It's very connected to America as well. That's why we probably see all these same cards coming back. Because it's, once America, the USA changes, things changing there, it changes everywhere. So it's like this beautiful thing. I could just feel everything is changing. I don't know if we're going to see it this week or that things will, but things are changing. And it wouldn't surprise me at all if it's going to happen very rapidly. But we'll have to wait and see. But as you can see, we have the Ace of Cups. This new beginning, this new beautiful connection worldwide on a level of the heart, on a level of the soul, our connection with God. It's like it's finally being not necessarily restored because we've always had it, but it's like more and more people are starting to remember that they have this connection. The world, everything is falling into its place. There's like a successful transition to a completely new era. I think we are really in this end phase of everything that's going on. It is going to end. I cannot say a certain date or it's going to happen then, or that's just not possible, because spiritually there is no time. It's man-made. So we have to wait and see, although we have to do our share, like I've said before, really deal with that connection with yourself. Restore that connection. Know that you're connected with God. Know you are a child of God. You're loved. You're valuable. Understand your own value so you can connect on a respectful way with other people and see their value and see the value of this beautiful place we're in, this beautiful world we're in. So this is really about falling into place. And of course we have the white hat card, like the Mr. T card, but also the white hats. More and more is going to come out. To me, they are in control. Of course, still in certain areas, like in Australia, things can still happen. It doesn't mean that the black hats or the black energies have nothing to do anymore. They have still some up their sleeve, but it's not going to be this humongous disaster that they had in mind. That's not possible anymore. The white hats have taken control over that. So they're, and like I've said before, and it's more like we're watching a movie. I've mentioned this before, and it's like it's already done or something, but we're kind of unfolding, and we're still living into this. People in Australia are having trouble right now in certain areas with all the flooding. It is happening now. But in a way, it's not. It's very strange. It's a very strange feeling. I'm kind of, when I'm speaking about this, I don't even know if that is actually happening now. It's just because time is such a strange concoction in a way. But like I've said, this is where we're living in right now. This is what we know now. So we'll just work with what's going on right now, or at least what we think is going on. But they are in control. They're following the plan to a T. And the sun will shine. This is just, the new world is already there. We just have to manifest it, or at least open ourselves up to it, and then we will see. So this is beautiful. These are beautiful cards, especially this new beginning. It's already started. This is from the past, the card, the Ace of Swords. So more and more truths are coming out. You can just see that around the world, and more people are watching alternative media, really want to exchange experiences, really want to exchange information. So this is already starting, and now we're getting into this beautiful new connection and feeling and connecting with the world, connecting with ourselves, connecting with God. So I see this as very positive. I have a very beautiful feeling when I look at these cards, and globally things are changing. It's really moving in the right direction. So I want to leave it at this, and I hope to see you in another video. Bye.